Alright YouTube, so this video is Focus Friday, so welcome back, and this is our first episode of Focus Friday. So if you were looking for an episode prior to this one, there wasn't one. So welcome again, and welcome to Friday. It's the end of the week, and we made it through. So after Focus Friday, we'll go back to Megapixel Monday. Having said that, tomorrow and Sunday are very important because both of those days start with S, their name, Saturday, Sunday, and that's shoot day. Go out there and shoot a lot of photos. What are we talking about on Focus Friday? We're going to talk about a system. What is a camera system and what does it comprise of? So a lot of people, when they spend thousands of dollars on a set of cameras, lenses, all these different things that we buy, do we look at our purchases and all of these things that we're buying more as investments, especially if you're doing it professionally? It's kind of this is going to be very important, but I'll also give you a view of a novice or someone that is a highly passionate photographer but doesn't do it professionally. I mean, and willing to spend a little bit of money and whatnot. So let's just get that out of the way. So if you're someone that is just starting out in photography and you don't really have a lot of gear, and you sort of kind of don't know which way to go, which brand to go, they all seem pretty good. They're all pretty good, right? It's usually that last 10% is what you're really going to pay the difference into getting the upper echelon of the best. So you can get 80 to 90% of the way without breaking your bank, regardless of the system you go with. Having said that, what does that mean? So I'll give you some of my thoughts on the three big ones, right? Which is your Nikon, Sony, and Canon. So on the Nikon side, you could start with something that's inexpensive, like a Z50, Z30, I believe is another model that they have. It's a APS-C type of situation, slightly smaller sensor, but hey, it doesn't break your bank. Good image quality, fast enough, right? And then you can continue to buy some of their Z lenses and morph into the system if you wanted to go full frame and beyond, right? And then you can go all the way up to a Z9. So you can continue to build, right? On the Sony side, something similar like that. You have the A6600, 6700. Those are crop sensor cameras, and then they also have some full frame cameras that are fairly affordable. And so does Nikon. So Nikon's got their Z6II, Z6III. You can get a Z6III for under $2,500 if you really want to go all out and just do it right off the bat. Great. But if you're really starting out, start out small. Figure out if you really like it. Because if you don't like it and you want to go to something else, it's easier to do it when you start out small than when you go in big and then you have to switch. You could lose a lot of money. So don't do that. So on the Sony side, 6600, 6700 is the model of the camera. Pretty good. If you're a vlogger type of person, they have the ZVE 110, all different models, and you could literally knock yourself out many times, right? You could buy many different cameras from them if that's what you want to do. So a lot of options there from a vlogging perspective. The two cameras that I mentioned from the Nikon side of the house, the Z30, Z50, those could be definitely used as vlogging too if you wanted to use Nikon from a vlogging perspective. And all of this has a theme and a storyline, so stay with me because the system is going to come into play now pretty soon. On the Canon side, you have many things. So you can get an R100, R50. You can get many. They have like 4 or 5 different ones that you can get under $1,000 that you can buy with the lens type of thing. Some of them you can use for vlogging. Some of them you can actually use for photography, whatever. So the choice is slightly more on the body side of the house. Their lenses are still evolving, similar to like the Nikon side of the house, because they came into the mirrorless, full on with mirrorless, much later than Sony did. So if you're new, you need to understand that. So when you're looking at, hey, Sony's got a lot more lens choices right now. Sure, because they had a 6 to 7 year head start on them. So, which is good. If that's the option you like, then you should go down that route. So having said that, now you have sort of a flavor on what you can do, right? From a affordable perspective. Now, when we get into a system, we start to look at people that are becoming a little bit more serious, morphing into full frame cameras, morphing into lighting, right? Which means flash units, the quality of lenses, the kinds of lenses, all different kind of things. So I would suggest that you really look deep into what is it that you're trying to do if you're trying to do this for the long haul. If you want to follow your heart and you want to follow a camera brand or whatever it is that you pick, is it going to give you what you want when you reach that sort of state of nirvana that you're trying to get to? Is it going to satisfy what you want to do? And if it isn't, don't waste your money. Go with the brand that's going to do it, right? Because if you follow YouTubers, they're all passionate. I'm passionate about certain things. I mean, I shoot Sony and Canon more than I shoot the Nikon, but I shoot all three. Am I looking at Nikon to satisfy all my needs from a lighting perspective? No, they don't even make their own flash units. So let's talk about it. Lighting is very important to me. Flash units. Sony and Canon still continue to make their own flash units. Here's a caveat. You can buy third-party flash units for all brands, including Nikon, Godox, all these different, and they're fine, they're good. You can get Profoto, all these different things, if that's what you do, right? If you're going to evolve to doing stuff like that. If you're not, it's a moot point, right? And it doesn't really matter. So if you're a bird and wildlife photographer, does flash unit really matter? Not really, right? But if you're doing weddings, you're doing, fashion, all kinds of different kinds of stuff, yeah, it's going to be kind of important on what you can and cannot do. So navigate carefully based on sort of what works for you. I ordered the Canon EL1 flash, which is their top of the line. It's like $1,100. Almost a year ago. I haven't seen it. It's been back ordered like crazy. Apparently they have gotten tons of orders, because most people that buy those at a professional level, they don't buy it one, they buy like a couple, 3, 4 at a time. Anyway, if I don't see it in the next 4 to 6 months, I probably will buy the new Godox one that just came out. I'll leave a link down below. Check it out at B&H and buy it if you want. The 8600 Mark II, incredible flash. I had the opportunity to fool with it at B&H when I was there. I just didn't want to cough up another $800 because I'm still waiting for the EL1. If the EL1 doesn't show up, you're probably going to see me shooting at Godox. So that does happen, guys. You have to pick and choose your battles. I can't wait forever. I've waited a year. I don't think I can wait too much longer if Canon doesn't come through with it. So the system is very important. So spend your money wisely. Figure out what works for you before you do it. And rather than look for jumping from YouTube video to YouTube video, trying to justify your purchase or almost make your existence of your gear in your bag, right? I bought this stuff, can you please validate that I bought something good? If you're looking for other people to validate it for you, they're also going to validate other things that you don't want, so they'll probably get more discouraging. Follow your heart. You know your needs, what they are. You know how much money you have. Figure out whatever it is, come up with a good budget, and then find a system that you can grow into. All camera brands today have incredible lenses, all kinds of different things that you can get. Some are affordable, some are more, and whatnot. So a lot of people will be like, oh, Canon RF doesn't have that many affordable lenses. Well, I beg to differ. Go on their site and look. Because out of the 42 lenses that they've already released in like 4.5 years, almost like I think like 10 or 12 of them are like under $500. So if you're starting out, I mean, you'll be fine. Sony has a lot more, and Nikon has a lot too, right? That are there, and some of them are not made by Nikon. Some of them are made by other brands. Same thing with Sony, right? You have Sigma, Tamron, they all make it. On the Canon RF side, kind of restricted to who all. Sigma just started to make some lenses for them, but you can get a $79 adapter from Canon, stick it on there, and you can use 250 million EF lenses. So that's an option too. You can grow into some really nice glass if you can't really afford the new RF stuff, and or don't see a focal length that you really want. Same thing with the Nikon system, because there's a lot of history there of a good 80 years of lens making that you could actually adapt to the new mirrorless system. So with that, you let me know what you are going to shoot, what you want to shoot, and what you aspire to shoot, but stay focused. Focus on the system and the photo, making rather than the photo taking. If you just keep those concepts in mind as you're going through this weekend, take a lot of photos, right? But when you take a lot of those photos this weekend, at least try to make 10 photos yourself. Move a little bit, change the lighting up a little bit, experiment, go out of that comfort zone. And as you do this more on the Focus Fridays, Friday after Friday after Friday, weekend after weekend after weekend, I guarantee you in just a year from now, you'll be stunned at what kind of images that you actually start to produce for yourself, and they'll be just pretty incredible. So with that, like, subscribe, be nice to each other, go out there, create your magic, and please do not forget to shoot this weekend. Get out there and get some beautiful images and make them, and go create your magic. I'll talk to you soon.